Today we're going to dive into a tradition that goes back generations, and this isn't about anti-aging or miracle products, not really. It's about a sacred ritual, something that completely redefines what it means to actually care for ourselves. So let's get into it.
94. Let that number sink in for a second. That's the age of the Japanese grandmother at the very heart of this story. Her skin is apparently smooth, luminous, with hardly any age spots. Now get this, she's never used retinol, never had a drop of Botox, and has never owned a single super expensive serum. So you have to ask, what is her secret?
And right there, that's it. That's the core philosophy. This isn't about vanity or trying to fix your flaws. It's about a nightly act of honoring yourself. The beautiful skin, well, that's just the side effect of a much, much deeper practice. And you know, this one idea, it really changes everything.
Okay, so before we even get into the how-to, the steps themselves, we've got to understand the foundation this is all built on. This isn't some quick fix, it's a lifelong commitment, and it all comes down to two key principles. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of this dedication. 78 years. She started doing this every single night when she was 16 years old, taught by her own grandmother, and she hasn't missed a day. That's our first huge takeaway here, the incredible power of just showing up, of continuity.
So here's the crucial point. Her skin doesn't remember some fancy product she used last week. What it remembers is being treated with respect for over 28,000 consecutive days. That kind of consistency is just so much more powerful than any complicated 10-step routine that, let's be honest, you probably only stick with for a month or two.
All right, so now we get to the practical part. We're going to walk through the 7 steps of the ritual itself. And as you'll see, every single step is deliberate, it's gentle, and it's absolutely full of intention.
So the ritual starts off with these 4 foundational steps. First up, a double cleanse to purify the skin without stripping it. Step 2 is hydrate and press. This is where a hydrating toner is gently pressed into the skin, not just wiped away so it really absorbs. Then comes the facial massage to get that circulation going. And finally, nourish and warm, where a face oil is warmed up between the hands to kind of activate it before it's gently applied.
Let's really break down that first step, the double cleanse. It starts with pure camellia oil, which she massages into dry skin for 2 whole minutes to just dissolve the day. After that, she uses a really gentle homemade soap made from fermented rice water, which is actually a centuries-old Japanese beauty secret. The whole thing is a nourishing process. It's designed to clean your skin without wrecking its natural barrier, a huge contrast to some of those harsh, stripping foaming cleansers we often use.
Now, step 3 is where this ritual takes a really different turn from most Western routines. This is not about just rubbing in some cream. It's a structured facial massage based on traditional Kobido techniques. Every single movement has a purpose, releasing tension in your forehead, draining puffiness from around your eyes, moving lymph in your neck. It's a perfect example of the intention behind every single touch.
Okay, let's move on to the last 3 steps. These focus on areas we tend to forget about, and more importantly, the mindset that really elevates this whole process. We've got a dedicated eye treatment, then we give some attention to lip care, and it all leads up to the final act, which is honestly maybe the most important step of all.
You can forget about those expensive eye creams. For step 5, she just uses whatever camellia oil is left on her ring fingers, because they have the lightest pressure, and she gently taps around the orbital bone to boost circulation. Then she puts cool, used green tea bags on her eyes for 5 minutes. It's simple, it's totally free, and it's incredibly effective. The same leftover oil is then gently tapped onto the lips for step 6. It's just a simple act of complete care.
So we've walked through all the physical steps, but as we're about to find out, the most powerful part of this whole ritual has absolutely nothing to do with oil or rice water. We're getting to the true heart of it now.
This is really the question that gets to the core of it all, isn't it? We get so focused on products, on ingredients, but are they really the secret, or have we been missing the entire point all along?
And there's her answer. The ingredients, sure, they help, but the mindset, that's what transforms a routine from a chore into a ceremony. The belief that you are worthy of this time, of this care, of this honor, that is the secret ingredient.
And that mindset is perfectly wrapped up in the 7th and final step. This is the culmination of the entire practice, and it's probably the most important thing to take away from all of this.
So, here it is, the final act. She looks at her own reflection and says, out loud, "Thank you. Thank you for showing joy, for seeing the world, for being with her for 94 years."
She treats her face not as some kind of battlefield against aging, but as a lifelong, trusted companion.
You know, after practicing this ritual, the person telling the story realized the biggest change wasn't just in her skin, it was her perspective. Those 20 minutes stopped being just another task on her to-do list and became a moment of real, intentional kindness, a quiet, daily act of self-respect.
And that really leaves us with this final thought. Take a look at your own routines, whatever they are. Are they something you just rush through, a problem that needs to be managed? Or could they become a moment to truly honor yourself? The answer just might change a lot more than your skin.